Now let me offer my personal congratulations and look forward to working with you in the weeks and months and years to come. Before I introduce our speaker, which I consider a bright, I fought to get this assignment because I have so much regard for tonight's speaker. But while I have everybody in the room, I want to do what I did on the opening night of this meeting, which is to recognize our staff. Now, before I ask everybody to stand, I want to single out three people, but everyone who will be standing has played an important role in this meeting. I want to thank my colleague, our Associate Executive Vice President, Mariaschin, who does a lot of things in this really, he's a very even-tempered guy, and you can't beat that for a colleague, and he does so much, and I'm deeply grateful to him, as the rest of the staff. Felice Caspar, Director of Administration. Felice. Totally unique in American Jewish life in terms of, this is incredible. This is a person who knows our Constitution by heart, the Constitution and the bylaws, who knows a good deal of the history of this organization, and who also is able to deal with massive lists and deadlines and accumulations of the kind of information that organizations need to have, and most people, frankly, either can't keep track of or don't even know exists. So, Felice, thank you for all you do. And Janelle Dowdy. Janelle. Probably the best known member of our staff. There's hardly a meeting that I go to. So the first thing they'll say, they won't say, "Hi, Dan." They'll say, "Where's Janelle?" I want to meet Janelle. She's been so helpful. Our plans meetings, but does a million other things, and particularly with seniors. And Janelle, thank you very much once again. I can't speak for everybody, but I told the banquet manager here tonight and the chef who came in that I'm pleased with the way we have been hosted here at this hotel, and Janelle really has done all the work on that. Now with that, thank you. I'm going to ask all, and then one other person. I hope she's here. Sharon Bender. Sharon, are you here? No, stepped out. She stepped out. Well, she's got a little baby at home, and then one who's not too much older than that. So. Sharon is our Director of Vice President for Communications, and really has transformed the profile of this organization since she joined us a few years ago. So we're deeply grateful to her as well. But with that, if all the staff could stand and be recognized, that would be great. Well, as you have heard and seen, we are kicking off our year-long celebration of our 170th anniversary today. Over the next several months, you'll hear details of how we plan on celebrating this momentous event, and we've already started by discussing our 170 for the 170th. And as most of you know, German Jewish immigrants Henry Jones, Isaac Rosenberg, William Renault, and Reuben Roda had been meeting on New York City's Lower East Side habitually on Sundays in 1843 to talk about politics, socioeconomics, and the culture of the new world of which they were fast becoming a part. They found that they were increasingly focusing on what Isaac Rosenberg called the deplorable condition of the Jews in this, our newly adopted country. They decided it was time to formalize their meetings and invite new members, and they held their first meeting on October 13th, 1843, in Aaron Sinzheimer's Cafe on Essex Street on the Lower East Side. The rest, of course, is history. When these men met in 1843, they could scarcely have imagined that over the next 169 years, this small group would grow into an organization that established the first Jewish library in New York City, sponsored the first Hebrew-speaking public body in modern times in what was then Palestine, and You know, the secretary, the maskir of the B'nai B'rith Lodge in Jerusalem in 1888 was none other than Eliezer ben Yehuda, who was the father of modern Hebrew. Would create orphanages and hospitals to serve the community, would grow to have members in more than 50 countries, would publish the longest running, continuously published Jewish periodical in the United States, would buy millions of trees to help turn a barren, fledgling state of Israel into a green gem, would be the first Jewish organization to hold a convention in Israel, would enable a meeting with President Harry Truman that led to the U.S. recognition of the state of Israel, and so much more. I was thinking about this proud history as I was reading the latest book by our speaker this evening. In When General Grant Expelled the Jews, Jonathan Sarna presents a fascinating account of how General Ulysses S. Grant issued an order to expel the Jews from their homes during the Civil War in the Tennessee Department. It is an interesting and provocative study, but more than that, it paints a fascinating picture of the role that B'nai B'rith played in first calling the order to the attention of President Lincoln and then having it revoked. Time and again in the book, which I hope everybody has, and I know that Jonathan will have writer's cramp over the next 3 days at least. Time and again in the book, which we were delighted to be able to present to you, and I hope you do. If you haven't got it signed, I hope you'll be able to get it signed after. You'll find references, many references to B'nai B'rith in the 1860s. And I would just say one thing here before we go to our speaker. I was present at the White House back in May during Jewish American Heritage Month. And it was a big gathering, it's every May, and the president was there. Of course, nobody knew what he was going to speak about. And he starts to speak, and he talks about General Grant's order. And then he refers to a letter from a Jewish organization protesting the order. Now I know what he's talking about. I'm saying to myself, B'nai B'rith. I said to myself, because I didn't say it there. Then the president said, after the reception tonight, please, as you walk out of the White House, in a case, you will see the order, and you will see the letter, which was from Missouri Lodge of B'nai B'rith. Something really, that letter, something really to be proud of. We're proud of that night, of course we're always proud of. Dr. Sarna is the Joseph H. and Belle R. Braun Professor of American Jewish History in the Department of Near Eastern and Judaic Studies at Brandeis University. Widely regarded as one of the most prominent historians of American Judaism, he is perhaps most famous for his award-winning work on the 350th anniversary, the founding of the American Jewish community, American Judaism, a History. Dr. Sarna also serves as chair of the Academic Advisory Board of the American Jewish Archives in Cincinnati, where the treasure trove of B'nai B'rith archival material now resides. And I have to give Professor Sarna a lot of the credit, because we were deciding what would we do with our archives, and I ran into Professor Sarna at some point somewhere in the Jewish realm, and he said, you know, Cincinnati really would like to have that archive, and one thing led to another with Rabbi Gary Zola, and of course the rest is history. So we are honored tonight to be able to kick off our anniversary by hearing from Professor Jonathan Sarna.